I'm Lakeshia.
Hey, I'm Natalie.
And this is Life Cracks Us Up.
My question to you today, ma'am, what constitutes a healthy relationship? I'm not talking about a friendship, although we could probably touch on that as well. But what define for me, a healthy relationship between a man and a woman, or a woman and a woman and a man, whatever fruit you desire, right? But what does a healthy relationship look like to you?
I guess the very basics of a healthy relationship is no one trying to kill each other.
That's a plus.
Yeah.
That is definitely a plus.
Yeah. And I say that because at one point I questioned whether or not I actually cared for someone because I didn't try to run him over with my car. I thought, well, maybe I'm not in love. Because the last guy, I loved him so much, I was going to run him over.
Vehicular homicide. Sometimes you can justify that.
That was interesting.
So when you say you almost ran him over, now, before I ask you to go into this story, can anyone still bring charges?
No, I think statute of limitations is up.
Okay.
Yes,
all right.
yes.
Let's go.
But yeah. Okay. So what had happened was...
That's so black.
So, oh gosh, where to even start? So this is my all-time least favorite relationship. I met him when I was in training in the military. And we hit it off. We, spent a lot of time together. Should I tell how we really got together?
Spill it.
Okay. So I've got some intestinal issues every now and again. And I was just so gassy. Let's just put it out there. I was just so gassy. I didn't know what to do. So I called the little nurse hotline. I was like, look, what can I do? And she was like, well, try to walk it off. Try to take a walk. So I was like, okay, cool. So I asked him, hey, you want to go for a walk?
You want to walk with me so I can try to expel this gas?
I didn't tell him that's why. We're in class together, and I kind of liked him a little bit, but I was like, oh, let's go for a walk. Mm-hmm. So gas brought us together.
Okay.
I should have known that was a bad sign.
So the walk had a dual purpose.
Yes. I got the gas out and I got to know him. So maybe I should have kept that gas. Mm-hmm. But so we got to spend some time together. We really liked each other. Mm-hmm. But things I had to repent for in my life. He was married. Mm-hmm. He was married. So we finished training. I was going to go to my duty station. He was going to go back to where he was. But, we really liked each other. So we, talked on the phone and everything all late at night. And girl, one time I was talking to him and it's like all this noise, like what is going on? Come to find out his wife, I guess she wasn't too keen on our relationship. she this is how you get a man. Mm-hmm. How you take care of a man. Mm-hmm. She broke his TV mm-hmm. with his trophies.
Girl.
Priceless, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
she's
my goodness. Yes.
She's a thinker.
Yes. But like what am I going? Okay. So we still kept talking. So eventually he came to live with me. He said we're getting divorced, whatever. But, so we were together. We were really together. And I was like, oh, man, this guy really cares for me. Mm-hmm. He came to be with me. Mm-hmm. And so he loves me. Mm-hmm. Absolutely loves me. Mm-hmm. So, we kept, doing the thing, living together. And he didn't have a car. He didn't have his car there. So
he didn't have a car, or he didn't have his car there.
I'm thinking maybe he didn't have a car.
Okay.
That's another thing. But so he's using my car.
So the red flags just continue to pop up.
Girl, please. I had my blinders on. Uh-huh. He looked good, sounded good. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I knew he had a job, because he's in the military now. But so he's got my car. So I get off work. He's not there. Waiting on him to pick me up in my car.
Ooh.
Talking about, woo, girl. I'm just, but he looked good.
Talk good.
Handle his business. Uh-huh. So, so I get on home, we do the thing, whatever. And so we're living together and it's getting a little different because again, I told you I'm a homebody, mm-hmm. And he likes to go out and party. Mm-hmm. So I go sometimes, but I'm not really into it. So, you do what you go ahead out there and party with your friends, hon, have a good time. So after a while, he decides, maybe I'm gonna move out and move in with my boy. It's like, really? Really? All right,
More
whatever.
red flags.
I know, right?
I'm just throwing them in the air.
But I
Throwing
think
them in
we
the air.
we might have broke up a little bit and got back together, whatever, all in the mix. So anyway, so he's living with his boy who, he's known to have women in and out of his place. He's just a free spirit like that. So, but my man, that's my man.
Yeah, girl.
He ain't gonna do nothing like that.
No. So what? He cheated on his wife, girl, to be with you.
No, but he went.
Left his
But
wife
he
to
would.
be-
But why would he cheat on me?
on you.
He would never.
Right?
Of course.
A little snatch of gold and everything.
That's right. That's right. So I started to get suspicious about what's happening, and I'm hearing stuff from people, but that ain't real. That's my man. He loved me. He left her for me. Right.
Yes.
So one day I just couldn't take it anymore. I just couldn't concentrate. I'm in school at the time, so I get out of class early. Decide I'm surprising my ride over to the house, but I don't go right in. I didn't call him, tell him I was coming. So I pull up in front of the house and I see the light on. I call him, like, hey, what you doing? He's like, oh, nothing, just chilling. I was like, I was thinking when I get out of class, I come over. He's like, no, I'm good to go to bed.
Girl, why does this sound like an episode of Cheaters? Like I can literally see the van with all the equipment in it and they're recording. Go ahead.
So I was like, look, I'm gonna go ahead and come over. No, don't come over. I was like, look, I'm sitting in front of the house. Look, I'm just all of this coming up. I'm sitting in front of the house, and I tell you what, I'm on my way to the door. I hear him running through the house. Hey, don't open the door. You just like, really? I was like, you don't have to open the door. I'm coming in through the window.
Ooh.
Girl, I'm all out of myself.
You were, you were on 15 at that point.
So finally he opens the door. And his roommate is in there, and there's some chicks in the living room, and he hustles me back to his room. And I was like, so what is she doing here? Oh, she here for here for him. I was like, really? Why she got on your bedroom shoes?
So observant.
Oh my gosh.
In a rush. In a rage.
I know. I can't believe I noticed that. So we're in the room, and I'm just out of body experience. I'm wailing on him like I can't stand you. I'm just like, oh my gosh. So he scoops me up, wraps his arms around me, opens the bedroom door, and his bedroom was right beside the garage. So he opens the garage door and throws me out of it.
You literally got thrown out of the house.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Oh
so
my gosh. And he was the one doing dirt.
Right.
My gosh.
Oh, so I'm up there just all out of my element. So we standing out there, I'm in front of the garage. I get to my car. It's like, come on out here in the street. Come on out here. I'm going to run your bitch ass over.
Meet me outside.
Run your bitch ass over. Come on out here in the street. Girl, stop playing. You go home. Stop playing. It's like, wow. But I learned my lesson. I came back again.
How old were you at this point?
Oh gosh. I'm
gonna go for early 20s.
Yeah, early 25 and below. I said people don't get good sense until after 25. Yeah. So I was around that area. But he wouldn't leave me alone. I wouldn't leave him alone. Because if he had just like dumped me and just stayed away, that's fine. But he kept coming back.
That's how toxic relationships work.
He kept coming back. So another time, I remember I was trying out contact lenses. I wanted to see if I could wear contacts, and they didn't have brown what I wanted at the time. So I was like, I'll just take these blue ones, just to have something on. And something else crazy would have happened, and I ended up like scratching him all in the face.
Girl, you were violent.
I was not. I was not a violent person before I met him.
You can't see me, but I'm looking at the ceiling. I'm looking at the window. I'm playing with the nails.
So later he was like, don't you ever wear those blue contacts again. They make you crazy. But look, so like I said, so now he's got this scar on the side of his face. It lasted quite a while. It wasn't permanent, but it lasted. But so like a few days later, I'm out with some friends at dinner. This joker tracks me down. I think we like Applebee's or something. He gonna come and slide into the booth with us. So I picked up my little knife, and somebody beside me just kind of gently took it out of my hands.
What?
I was like, because I ended up asking one time, I was like, why do you keep coming back?
Yeah.
Because I told him, I was like, this isn't who I am. I don't like.
You're taking me out of my character.
I was like, stop doing this to me. So then I thought, oh my gosh, struck a lope. I lost the ability to speak. Stroke of luck. I'm being stationed in Germany. So I'm going to get away from this joker. He's being stationed in Germany. It's like, wow. And the crazy thing is, I didn't even tell him when I found out we both going. We're out to dinner somewhere. And one of our friends, friends that we both
Mutual
knew.
friends.
Somebody's like, so you're both gonna be in Germany. He looks at me like, you didn't tell me. It's like I was trying to get away.
How did you stop seeing him? How did it finally come to an end? Not the pause and a deep breath. Go.
It hasn't. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
I was about to be like, ah.
No, well, okay. So let's see. We went to Germany. Oh, I gotta tell the whole story.
Okay, go.
So we went to Germany, and he's like 3 hours away, maybe, but he's coming to see me. So I'm going to see him. You know, I'm in family housing because I have my family there, and he's in the barracks. So you know, I'm going to stay with him every now and again, and I sort of noticed his stuff in his room starts disappearing. He got less stuff in the room. Like, okay. But you know me, I don't ask any questions. So eventually it's like pretty much nothing in the room. Yeah. So
slowly but surely moving into somebody else's crib.
Well, now you tell me. So one day I'm at work and I'm calling him and I'm calling him and I'm calling him and I can't reach him. It's like, oh my gosh. So I knew somebody else who was stationed where he was. We had been together in Texas. And so I called, I was like, hey, I'm trying to find a boy. Like, where is he? This joker calmly says to me, oh, he went to the States to get married. So he decided to get married, but didn't marry me. Girl, talk about being devastated. Devastated.
Now I can say this to you now because he is so far removed from your life. Without you even telling me that whole story, which I already knew, I already knew how it was going to go. He showed you who he was from day one. And ladies, gentlemen, if you get with someone, you know what? I'm going to stick to, if someone shows you who they are, believe them. Because obviously not every single case, but if he was willing to cheat on his wife to be with you, what would stop him from cheating on you?
Because I'm fabulous.
To be with the next chick.
Fabulous.
Listen, like I said, you probably have a golden snatch. Unfortunately, some people are just who they are. And again, that's not to say that that's every case, because there are specific instances that I know of personally where that was the case. But then, you know, the people ended up being together forever and ever and ever.
And I know one too. As a matter of fact, I do know one too.
Yeah.
But actually, you know, I asked him after, you know, he had got with her like one time, like, why her? Why'd you pick her? He said, because she trusts me. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, should I tell you where he was when he said that to me?
Between your legs?
Yeah, we're in bed.
Shit, I was being funny.
Oh no, for real. Oh yeah, we were together.
So you still?
Yeah. I'm stupid. I was past tense.
No. I don't know.
No,
I don't
young
call
and
it being
dumb.
stupid.
Oh
I don't
my
even
gosh.
call it being that. When you're young and you think you're in love like that, right? You're willing to deal with whatever that person throws at you.
So right now we're going to take a break. And you can like, share, follow, and subscribe.
Now, you being who you are now, let's just put your marriage aside, right? You're not married, but you're out here in these streets dating or whatever. You would never, ever let yourself get in that situation again. But being young, who was it? Was it Eddie Murphy? Being young and full of cum. Ooh, you all of a sudden you don't think straight, because this person, regardless of what they're dragging you through, the mud, the fiery hoops, all of that shit, you see past it because you're just so in love with this person. And if we're being honest, even as adults, my last relationship, the real relationship, not that last bullshit, but we were together for a while, and again, we've known each other for a very long time because we dated when we were younger. When we were teenagers, we dated. Time passed. I went away to college. You know, I was lucky enough to be able to go out of state, although the reason I went out of state was not the healthiest relationship, because I was in an abusive relationship and he ended up stabbing me. And we kind of thought at that part, since he was very clear that his intent was to kill me. We thought it was best if I left. So I ended up going to a whole different state, which resulted in me going to college. Now, I do want to say, because a lot of people that I know may listen to this podcast and they're going to immediately know who I was talking about. I do want to say, and this is going to sound crazy, but in his defense, we were super young in that situation. It was a very tumultuous, very violent relationship, but he ended up being a very responsible adult. He ended up not being that person that he was as a kid. So I shouldn't say in his defense, because there's no defense to it. But I do want to say that, because unfortunately he passed away, but towards the end of his life, he ended up having, children and healthy relationships. So he wasn't the adult. He didn't bring that child into his adulthood. So I just wanted to say that. And yes, we did keep in touch after all of that happened when I was in college, which is how I know this. But this relationship, we ended up getting together as adults. I was in a different state. I was actually in Texas at the time. We ended up, goddamn Facebook, the devil. It's the devil. So we ended up getting together. Again, thanks, Facebook. If our podcast is on there, we appreciate you. But we ended up getting together, and we were in different states. So it was a super long distance relationship. However, he was either in VA with me or I was in NY with him. Like we were together often. You know that. Oh my gosh. Like, I don't know, 5 years in, I get a call from some chick like, hey, just wanted to let you know that I've been with this person for 4 years and we're engaged. What?
Yeah.
With who? Like, what? Yeah. So I'm sitting here trying to figure all this stuff out. Like, what are you even talking about? So we start, as women do, start talking to one another about, oh, well, what about this time? Well, what about this time? What about this time? Girl, come to find out, he had taken me to Vegas for my birthday. How about he got the money from her to take me? So I thanked her for the trip.
Right? What?
I mean, I thanked her for the trip. I appreciate it. But I say all that to say, talking about being an adult and being stupid, even after all of that happened, eventually we kind of sort of found our way back. And I decided, like, you know what? That's over. We're good. I'll just keep my eye on you, but we're good. Girl, even he must have asked me to marry him no less than 3 times. And each time I was like, nah. And I did at one point tell him, I'll never marry you. Like that, I know. I never saw us lasting forever because I knew I didn't want that kind of relationship, but he served a purpose at the time. So it was easy for me to say, all right, let's try this again. Let's see where it goes kind of thing. But in the recesses of my mind, I knew absolutely well that he wasn't that one. But I kept it going for a little while, until, and I always used to tell him, like, he would say things like, you ain't going nowhere. You ain't going there. And I would tell him all the time, like, yo, I promise you, when that day comes, when I'm done, I'm just going to be done. Like, legit just going to be done. And that's where it got. Woke up one morning like, yeah, I'm done. I'm good. Still to this day. Well, I'm not going to say still to this day because he did stop calling eventually. But it had been years. I blocked all of his numbers. I blocked his family's numbers, his friends' numbers. I blocked everybody's number that I knew we had in common because he would go through other people to try to reach out to me.
Why?
Yep.
That's what
Well, I know why. I know why he did that for me. And yes, this is me patting myself on the back because I'm a dope catch. Like, I really, truly am. I have my shit together. I'm a single mom. I'm a single parent. But I do okay in life. Like, I think any dude would be lucky to have me in their life.
Oh, definitely. I definitely agree.
Yeah, so I know why he kept coming back because hindsight is 20/20. Now all of a sudden, girl, the last time we were in touch, he was talking about all this therapy he goes through and how much better he's doing.
Wow.
And oh my gosh. And I told him then, I said, I have no desire to see you. I have no desire to talk to you, but we can text all day. And that's pretty much what we did. We stayed in contact via text. All of a sudden, the text stopped. Like, and I'm talking about just abruptly stop. So one of two things happened. Either he passed away, or there's some chick involved who got a hold of his phone and saw we were communicating. And I'm willing to bet it's the same chick who called me, because she, after the second, like after our second go round, when I realized she was still in the picture, she made it clear, like, she's not going anywhere.
What the world?
Yeah. And I was like, listen, you ain't got to. That's all you, man. Like, you please, by all means, go ahead. Like, I'm definitely not trying to get into it with you over this dude. But yeah, so the calls, like, I mean, the text just abruptly stopped. So I know that it has everything to do with, you know, the other person. And again, it's fine, because I had no desire to have anything with this person other than, you know, we had some really funny conversations. But it goes to show you that even when your common sense is telling you, stop,
Yes.
get away,
Yes.
leave it alone, other areas are like,
right?
Maybe just, if not for any other reason, maybe just for the lower region, like, let's kick it. But yeah, at some point, there has to be some type of like, all the red flags. We have to, as females, start paying attention to the red flags, feel that women's intuition, and know that it means something. It's a real thing.
And then you're right, but I'm thinking probably not so much for you, but self-esteem has something to do with it.
Oh my
too.
gosh, yes.
Because I've been told on more than one occasion, well, I don't know if I've been told directly, but like, I was the type of person you could take home to your mom. You know, but not so much fun somewhere else. You know, so I'm the one that's a good show that you can take. Because this dude, I met his family. I was like, wow, you know, so I thought I was in there, but evidently I wasn't wild enough, maybe.
Yeah.
Because once his car got keyed, and I didn't do it. I don't know any dude that's gonna key a car. Right. You know, his tires got slashed. Like, who else is he out there messing with? You know, it's like, yeah, so he was just trouble all around. Yeah. It's just, you know, so I'm like, how many people was he cheating with? You know, or how many people was he cheating on? Yeah. You know, it's like he was just, but yeah, like, I mean, into how it ended, how did it? I can't even tell you. I shouldn't.
That, I mean, because yeah, even though he went to the States and blah blah blah, and you two still ended up messing around, like, how did you get to the point where you were like, I'm absolutely done? I know sometimes in order to get over somebody else, you got to get under somebody else. Did you do that, or was it just kind of like,
that's what happened? But that's what happened, but not intentionally, because okay, I was leaving, I was getting out of the military, and my now husband called and asked to go on a date. And I was like, you know, I've been through so many crazy relationships. I'd already told myself beforehand, I was like, you know what? When I get back home, I need to be by myself. Because I used to say I was like Tarzan, you know, swinging through this thing, the jungle. I don't let go of one until I got another. Right. And I found that's what I've been doing. I was like, I'm just tired of this. There were a lot of bad choices that I made, poor relationships, none as crazy as that one. You know, it was that one was the worst. But so I said, I need to be by myself. So my husband called. Because he kept running to my grandma. That's the weirdest story too. I told him he was trying to get with my grandma, or he was, you know, I don't know. But so he ended up getting my information and calling, and I was like, okay. I remember him being a nice guy. That's what I remember from the time we had dated before. So I said, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go on this one date with him because he's a nice guy, and then I'm gonna give him to my girlfriend. Like, I'm just gonna give him away. I'm gonna give him to my girlfriend. So I was like, you know, no commitment. It's gonna be good. So another phone call that I got was from the dude. I don't even remember how he found my number, but you know, he was like in a detective agency. He could, you know, find a way around stuff. Cause like because he could tell I was on leave, and he knew where my grandma, you know, because we've been together for a long time. We had been together for a very long time, in and out of each other's lives. So he was like, he wants to see me on my way home. I can't resist. So we hook up. And he, you know, we go to this nice hotel. I was like, oh, you paying with cash? He's like, yeah, I can't leave no credit card receipt. I was like, oh God. Whatever. So, okay. So this happens. And so then I go to get back home, go on a date with my husband. And we go on that first date. And we are together ever since. So yeah, but again, I must say, in the beginning when we first got together, and I really thought, I was falling for this guy. I was like, I can't be in love. I ain't tried to kill him yet. So yeah, that's how I finally got away from that guy. So I found somebody who valued me.
Okay. Yep.
And treated me the way I deserve to be treated. And I even now I say sometimes, like, I had to go through that horrible stuff to understand what I really have,
yeah.
to be able to fully appreciate,
Yeah.
somebody who doesn't make you think they're cheating on them.
Yeah.
That wasn't normal.
Yeah.
That whenever I couldn't see that guy, I was like, what's he doing?
Yep.
Because I knew this one guy used to always say, he said, I can trust you as far as I can throw you.
I mean, facts. Facts.
Right.
Facts. I think when we were talking about in the beginning, just healthy relationships. So yeah, obviously not wanting to kill the person.
Yeah.
Not having a cheater or being a cheater, but also knowing your worth. Yeah. Knowing your worth. I think that is, I think that is that's probably number one, because if you know your worth, you have no desire to, I think that guys who are serial cheaters and the ones who are just out there, like, they look for women who will tolerate that. Mm-hmm. They look for women who they know they can get over on rather, excuse me. So knowing your worth is probably the best way to get into a healthy relationship.
Definitely.
Because you're not going to fall for bullshit. You're not going to
put up with that crap. You're not.
You're going to look at him and say, oh, if this is what you're about, I'm good.
Yeah, no,
I'll just go to, someone else who values
that's
me.
what I try to tell the kids now. It's like, yes, you have to value yourself, because if you don't love yourself enough, nobody else will.
Yeah.
They'll just take what you allow them to do to you.
Absolutely.
I mean, they treat you how you allow them
to treat you. Yeah. And, my brother is like super duper, well, used to be super duper player. Like, women, I have seen women get into it over him. I have seen women like just buy him $300 shirts and coats and Tims, but I used to like kind of sort of get mad at him, like, yo, why do you do that? And then I started thinking about it and like getting mad at the woman. Like, you're the one doing it. He didn't even have to ask for stuff. Or he would say something subtle like, oh, that coat is dope. Mm-hmm, like, that's a nice coat. Next thing you know, wow. So I kind of faulted the women, because you allow yourself to be that person. Like, you allow yourself to be the person who buys $300 shirts and polo coats and blah, 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 blah. So at some point, you have to take accountability for being in an unhealthy relationship. Talk to me, baby. Converse with me now. We would love to hear what you have to say. I know we're not the only ones who finds life funny.
So what's on your mind? Does life crack you up like it cracks us up? We want to hear about it.
Whether you're the
whichever side, because I'm thinking, right, because like I said, we're talking about it from the woman's perspective, but that happens to other men too. Yeah. Like I said, it doesn't even matter what type of relationship you're in, same sex, different sex, everybody, can do that. But again, if you have to value yourself, know your worth, to not put up with that from anybody, because there's plenty of people out there. There is somebody out there who's going to treat you the way you deserve to be treated.
There is. Go to church, go to the grocery store.
You know what?
But there is, though. There is. And I try to instill that in my girls. My oldest will say stuff like, well, on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, she wants to have children.
Okay.
On Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, she can't stand the idea of having children. On Sundays, she's having kids, but she's doing it by herself.
Okay, all
so
right.
My thing to her is, number one, don't do that. Don't do that. Well, I don't need a man to do such and such. Now, let me say this. You may not need a man, but please want a mate. Just because you see me doing the single mom thing, this isn't the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes it's a generational curse. I don't know why I couldn't get that out. But when you see so many people doing it and doing it well, you kind of sort of start thinking that's the way it's supposed to be. But I'm trying to explain, like, no, 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 no. It's okay for you to know you can do it on your own,
Right.
but don't seek to do it on your own.
Yeah, because it can be a lot easier when it's not on your own.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And not only that, but just to have that healthy relationship, the companionship of someone else. Like, again, I don't hate my life. Not even a single solitary iota do I hate my life. But would I like to share some things with a mate? Absolutely. It's just not the way it doesn't have to be that way. So I don't want her to seek that out.
Right, exactly. Because then you're up there with looking for love in all the wrong places. But yeah, you're right.
Looking for nub in all the wrong places. Looking for nub. I watch a lot of TV, and SNL is my shit. Love Saturday Night Live, and that was Eddie Murphy as Buckwheat, looking for nub in all the wrong places.
Wow. But on that though, is I tell people too, is be careful with who you lay down with, because you may not intend for that to be a relationship, right?
Some shit is forever.
That's true. That and babies.
That's what I mean. Some shit is forever.
Right, because you get with somebody, just for whatever, and next thing you know, you have a kid, and then you're tied to them whether you want to be or not. So I said, that's those accidental relationships. So you just have to be really careful with what who you're connecting with and how.
Absolutely.
So let's think about that.
Which kind of sort of goes back to our dating episode. Know who you're getting involved with. I feel like, yes, everyone, when you first meet someone, yes, you're meeting their representative. We all understand that. No one is 100% authentic on the very first time you meet someone, because you're trying to put on a good, you're trying to make a good impression. That first impression is everlasting, all that good stuff. However, when we were talking about the dating episode and having those conversations up front and setting out your expectations, what you want from it or what you can bring to it. Yeah, you don't have a right just to tell somebody what you want.
Right.
What are you bringing into it?
Yeah.
In the words of Life Jennings, don't be a nickel out here looking for a dime.
Ooh, well.
I mean, for real, for real. Like, you
right.
want, but what are you bringing to the relationship? So, a healthy relationship is made up of basically a whole bunch of shit. Like, it really truly is. But if you know your worth and you know the person, you get to know the person that you're getting into that relationship with. You get to know that person well, the real person, not the representative. Who is it when they take the baseball cap off and she takes the eyelashes off and she comes out of her, her waist trainer and all that stuff? Who is that person? And then determine from there whether or not it's a relationship you want to stay in. And also, please don't think when you marry someone, you're going to change that person.
Once we get married, I can change them.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah, no. Oh, gosh, no.
When someone shows you who they are,
they said, you better listen.
You better believe them. You better believe them. Getting married is not going to change someone. If anything, it gives that person a right to settle in and dig their heels in a little bit more. If they left their dirty ass boxers on the floor before you were married,
they're not going to pick them up now magically because we're married.
Exactly. That ring on your finger does not mean that you are now married to a different person. Wow. Not even a little bit. Says the person who's never been married, but I have been engaged. But I have been engaged 3 times.
Oh, okay then.
I have been.
But yeah, I don't know why people think it's going to be different after something. But and to say that is, back to like my experience, it's all, even if you've been in a while, it's okay to get out of it if it's not healthy, if it's not working. I should have left sooner. Even say the feelings all tied up, and I think that's where people have these issues now. It's like, well, people are out there killing each other. It's like, oh, if I can't have them, nobody else can.
Fatal Attraction. Do you watch Fatal Attraction on TV One?
Yeah. Or it's like, if that person makes you feel like that, they're not the person for
you.
you.
Yep.
But you know, in your mind, it's like all the hormones and whatever. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I didn't kill that dude, because or even try, really, because you know, he'd either be dead or maimed or whatever, and I'd be in prison.
Pretty much.
I wouldn't have met my husband. But you don't think about that. It's that person is not the only person out there. And then they are definitely not the right one for you.
And sometimes it's hard to see that through frosted glass, because sometimes there's a few different scenarios that'll make you kind of sort of stay with someone. And this is all in my opinion, not in my professional medical opinion, because in my mind I'm some type of doctor.
Okay.
But this is all my opinion. But sometimes you don't see the person for who they are because you're in love with being in love. You don't want to be by yourself. So you kind of feel like this is it. This is what I got. So I'm just going to deal with this. This is what it is. The other side of it is in the more physical, the more abusive relationships, whether it's physical or verbal, sometimes you feel like you can't leave. When someone tells you out of their own mouth, I'll find you and I'll kill you. I mean, and a lot of men and women can be abusers too. Most times in these situations we are talking about men, but I don't want to just make a general statement. But a lot of times when you're in an abusive relationship, that person knows exactly what they're doing. They know exactly the things to say to you to make you not leave. They also know how to put you in a position so that you can't leave. They're the breadwinner. They're the person who makes all the decisions in the house. You know, they're the person. So they make it so you're dependent on them and you can't be on your own, which is why, thank God, there are so many programs out there and so many resources for women who are in that position. Sometimes it takes someone to tell you where to go because you don't have access to finding that information yourself. But there's help out there, women who hopefully are hearing this podcast. My situation, I was very young. So, you know, I was able to get out of my situation, but there are women who can't. So you have the women who are in love with being in love and they stick around for guys who cheat and treat them like shit. There are the women who physically or mentally can't leave an abusive relationship. You also have the women who just like the drama. You have those women who feed into it and help create the toxicity. So I think there are multiple reasons why women stay in unhealthy relationships. I'm just glad that I got out of mine.
Yeah, and I'm glad that I did not continue that path because, you know, I look back at it, I was like, oh my gosh, that was nuts. That's not who I am. I don't put my hands on people when they make me angry.
And on top of that, be glad that you putting your hands on him. He didn't put his hands back on you.
Because he would have not. Well, that happened one time with that. Not with him. Not with him. Oh my gosh.
So you had somebody else's ass you was kicking?
Oh my gosh, no. So my daughter's father. I came home one time.
Thank you for not saying my baby daddy. Oh, I can't. My baby daddy. I cannot stand it.
My daughter's father. Sperm donor, whatever. But so one time I came home on leave. My daughter was living with my mom at the time. And it was the holidays, Christmas, around Christmas time. And he had bought her some outfits. This in particular, this one green jumpsuit that did not fit.
Of course it didn't fit because he didn't know her size because he wasn't in her life. Go.
That was my point. I was like, dude, I think I just come from Germany the first time. So I wasn't there, but I send her gifts, I talk to her on the phone, everything. I'm not even gonna tell you, my mom said that one time he left her sitting on the porch with a suitcase to pick her up or whatever. But anyway, so all this is in my head. And when he comes over with this green outfit that does not fit, I lose my shit. I was like, first of all, she's here with you. You could have taken her to the store to get her size. Second, your girlfriend lives with you. She could have helped you. So I got so angry. I just started hitting him. And he's a big, fat, solid dude. Girl, when I tell you this joker blacked my eye, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, so yeah, that I did. put my hands on somebody and didn't realize it because he did put his hands back.
Yeah.
But I was so mad when we went to the court and they were talking about. No, I went to the hospital. I had to go to the hospital. It was like domestic violence. We ain't together. That was assault.
Right.
Don't call that no domestic. That ain't my man. Because we weren't even together at the time.
Right.
But I was like, but yeah. So I mean, I have been hit, but again, with that rage, I was lucky that dude did not whoop up on me back, because gosh, that would have been.
I still would be hollering, lock him up.
Right.
Lock him up. I'd be like Trump with Hillary, lock him up. Lock him up.
But when the other dude though, when I did hit him and I got my mind together, went home and sat down on the bed, I was like, what did I do? I sat there, I waited. I was like, that joker gonna call the MPs on me. They're gonna come and get me.
But you know why he didn't do that? Because he also enjoyed the drama.
Yes,
which took me back to what I was saying before.
Mm-hmm.
He was willing to stay in it and keep you coming back because he enjoyed the drama. Now, women, please, please, please stop putting your hands on these men and then being appalled when they hit you back.
Right.
I will never, ever, ever, especially having been in abusive relationships, plural, none as bad as the one I was talking about. But I will never, ever, ever justify a man putting his hands on a woman. But please stop putting the thought in his head that he has to defend himself against you.
That's true.
Because you keep putting your hands on him.
Absolutely.
So ladies, please stop. I know a few. I have friends who have done that. Still to this day are quick to ball up their fist. And I tell them all the time, one day he's going to bust your ass. And then you're going to be all, I can't believe you did that. Please, please, ladies, stop putting your hands on these men and then being appalled when they defend themselves.
That's true.
I want to say that. And men, when and if your woman gets upset over a situation and pops you in the side of the head or punches you in the chest, please stop using that to justify beating her down.
Right.
Like, please stop. Because you're going to catch someone, my hand is raised, who has a pistol in her purse, and she's going to put a hot one in your ass, and then everybody's going to be on Fatal Attraction. Stop. Just want to throw that out there. Public service announcement.
Appreciate that. But there are some good relationships out there.
Absolutely. You healthy ones.
Yes, very, very healthy relationships.
I look at your relationship with your husband. That's one I aspire to. My BFF and her husband, I aspire to that. Actually, now that I think about it, out of all of my closest friends, I'm the only one who's not married. Wonder what that says about me.
Stop it. I don't know. I haven't found the right one who checks the boxes.
Yeah. And each time, so my very, 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 very first boyfriend, I so wish I could say his name, but I'm not going to. But obviously I was like super young. Like I was a super, super duper kid. But he's still like my passwords to this day. Wait a minute. Now people are going to know who he is and they're going to know my password. Got to change that. But. I mean, still, like, he'll forever and always, probably until my dying day, stick out in my head because he was my first relationship and he was the first man that I ever said I love you to. Now, there was another relationship later on in life that I thought was actually going to be the one. Like, I just knew it was going to be me and him. Our relationship kind of went left. Things weren't moving in the direction that I wanted them to. He was very content with the way things were. It didn't look like there was going to be any forward progress. So I was just kind of like, well, as much as I hate to leave this relationship, and actually strike that, reverse it. He actually ended the relationship. It was his idea to say, we're not going to be together anymore. But I saw it coming because, like I said, there was no movement. And I think that he kind of, didn't like the idea of me wanting to move forward, which is what initiated him saying, I think we're not going to work out, because he wanted to stay where we were. Yeah. Right. So one of the other ones that I talked about, the semi-recent one, I thought that was going to be it. Yep. This is it. But I don't think that person was over the situation they had been in. And maybe there was something I did that didn't check his boxes. It could very well be that, but that fizzled out as well. But yeah, I don't know if it's I don't think I'm a hard person to get along with. I actually think that I'm a pretty dope partner.
And you are.
Right? I think I have.
I mean, like, I'm not the partner, but I mean,
Yeah.
as a person, like I said, said before, like, I didn't really like to meet people. I don't really get close to people, but yeah, I mean, you're awesome. And
I think so too.
yeah, I know. I mean, your personality, you're so kind. And you talked about being good looking. I said, that's why I like to go anywhere with you. I'm the frumpy friend. Like, who's going to look at me when I'm out with you?
Negative ghostwriter.
Can't stand
all my friends are cute.
Whatever. That's why that time we went out and I had to put on my little... that
was so fun. We went to, I don't know if I'm allowed to say a cute day party, but we went to an activity for a frat. And one day we're either going to do some episodes live or we're going to do some episodes on camera or some video. And I think that you'll be able to, I think the way we describe ourselves is pretty accurate. So I think people will be able to say, okay, she's the one who clutches her pearls and she's the one who has sex the first week she meets somebody to see if the relationship will work. So I think that people will be able to see that. But I need you to understand, when we went to this party, how my chica came looking exactly like Olivia Newton-John at the end of Grease. I'm talking about the skin tight pants and the bodysuit with just the spaghetti straps. I mean, looking fly as shit. I was like, yo, everybody in here is about to be up on you. I was 1000% confident that every dude in there was going to be like, yo, can I holler at you right quick? You look so cute.
I intentionally didn't tell you what I was planning. And when you came out, I stood there and it's like, tell me about it, stud.
Oh my gosh, yo, you looked so freaking cute.
But you know what? My husband still never saw that outfit.
I took a picture. No. Oh my gosh, one day we're going to have to talk about that ride home with all you drunk bitches in my car. And I was the only one sober. And 3 drunk women in my car. And I'm the only one sober. Feet everywhere, titties everywhere. I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Heavens to Murgatroyd. Please get me back to the other side. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious.
Yes, now that's a different relationship. But last thing, you were talking about your first, about your passwords and never forgetting him and all that. I told you my daughter's father was my first. Girl, when I tell you a few years ago before my grandma passed, she asked me, how's so-and-so doing? I was like, who is that? Him.
2 totally different experiences.
Oh my God.
That's what makes us us. We have such different experiences sometimes in how things go.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
That is. But you know what? That's just one of the reasons that life cracks us up.
What's up, party people? This is the point in time where we need you to like, share, follow, and subscribe.